Hi everybody, we're at another author interview. This time we're with the author of The Day I Drowned, Elizabeth Jobson from Mount Tambourine. Elizabeth, what inspired you to write this book?
The story of the book has been with me for a long time, obviously, because it's an old happening. However, it is seeing people on the beach, well away from surf lifesavers, and it's fine if they're just sitting there, but they're actually going into the water, way away from the flags, and that frightens the heck out of me. It just gives me goosebumps. And so I thought, well, if there's a way of getting that message out there, please swim between the flags, and here's the reason why. So that was a good reason for doing it.
Well, the reason why is quite an interesting thing, because you and I share some common ground here.
We do.
We've both been rescued from a rip. Do you think in hindsight from the day that when you got caught in that rip, was there anything you would have done different?
I'd love to be able to say yes, but I quite honestly don't think I would. I think it would be exactly the same if it happened tomorrow. Now, at the time, a rip to me was a tear in the fabric. I've got no idea what a rip was. But now, I've read obviously a lot about it, and the idea that I might just lie on my back and swim out of it or swim to the side is probably all great common sense. But when you're being dumped the way I was dumped, continuously, the same thought just goes out of your mind, and if that same situation happened, I don't know that I'd react any differently, to be honest.
Well, there's that panic, and I think, like, I look back into the time that I was caught in a rip, and when I lost sight of the shore, panic set in, and so every rational thought you have doesn't even register.
It doesn't register, and so I really don't know. I mean, maybe I'd understand what it was, but if I'm being dumped the way I'm dumped, then no, I don't think it'd be any different.
The unique thing about the book is the common sense that we think about. We swim between the flags, you know, we go where there's a lot of people, obviously, but this is what you did. You were in a safe zone, were you not?
I was in a safe zone, and it's very interesting because I've often thought, well, hang on, I was swimming between the flags, which ultimately saved my life. But however, how can that be then? How did I get into a rip? And I've never really quite answered that. I just thought, well, I must have moved to one side or something. And then only just recently, there was an article on this whole subject, which every summer there is. And it said that one of the safest places to swim is beside a rip. So maybe that's what it was, I don't know. But so I was between the flags, which ultimately, as I say, saved my life. But I must have veered out because I was stepping back and stepping back. So that's what I must have been doing. And then I stepped into a rip.
I think, like, I come from New Zealand, and we have certain areas in New Zealand that is very hazardous, and we get told, do not go there, do not go there. So, you know, we've got certain beaches that are extremely safe. When I came to Australia, I did take notice how a lot of the shoreline here is all classed as quite dangerous as far as a Kiwi would see it, but yet, you know, they're such beautiful beaches. You go as a family, you go down there and you experience sun, surf, all of the wonderful things, but it is just less than meters away from a bit of danger. And without fear mongering, do you feel that this sort of education is paramount to the general public of Australia, to tourists? Who are we trying to get this message to?
I would say mainly to tourists and visitors coming into Australia. According to facts and figures, 90% of Australians know they should swim between the flags. However, there's a large percentage of those that don't, and they know better. But the point is, they don't know better. And I was talking to a Chinese lady the other day, and I was explaining to her, and she had no idea what a rip was or anything else. And I said exactly what you just said. The ocean looks lovely, the water's inviting, the sun's out, the sand looks lovely, and in you go. It might be 7 o'clock at night, there's nobody around. There's nobody to help you. And especially now we're in December, every few weeks or every few days you get another drowning. And so maybe they should do a research on who it is, and I would suggest that it's a lot of visitors.
Well, actually, I watched Bondi Rescue once, and the show's full of saving people out of rips and out of dangerous situations, but you're on a beach where it's very well monitored. There's a large number of lifeguards, large number of people, a lot of safe zones on that beach, but that doesn't really mean anything. It's about the education and awareness when you're down there, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's trying to educate. Look, if one person thought twice about, we won't swim here, we'll just walk up to where the flag's are and we'll swim, and if we got into trouble, we've got help. If just one saved one life, it would be worth dragging up all the trauma of writing, because it is trauma. And as I talk and I see you, I see what I consider to be that last wave. I can see it now as I talk, that last wave, and to me it was the last wave, because after that I was unconscious. So I know exactly what it's like to drown, because after that it would have been history if they hadn't been there when they were there.
That's so true. And look at that, what has the feedback been from those that have had the book, that have read it so far?
Well, a lot of people have read it. I've shown it around, of course. There's a lot of, when you write a story, people like to relate to it. If they can relate to it, then they can understand it. And I should say 99% of people understand it, they relate to it, because yes, I've been there, or my friend has. I spoke to a woman only yesterday and her whole family nearly got swept out in a rip. How the heck they got back, I have no idea. But yes, so they do relate to it. That is a good feedback. But I think being a small book too, people sort of flick, oh yes, I've been here, I've done this. It's got to be out there in the tourist industry. That is where I've got to market it.
I want to just have a look at something on the back here. Max Christmas, who's the member of Surf Lifesaving and Rural Lifesaving in Australia, Elizabeth's book has effectively outlined the real feelings of despair, fear and panic that people show when they believe they are drowning. Each word she has written illustrates the true fear that is instilled in people who are struggling to survive in dangerous conditions in the ocean, surf or running water. That is so spot on, because like you and I have been through this, you've just identified that you've met others that can relate to this story.
Absolutely.
And I think that those that have not been caught in a rip or not been in a dangerous situation with water, very, very lucky, and good on them that they haven't been. But to stay that way, they need to be educated, they need to educate their children, and they need to use resources like this to actually make that happen.
Well, that would be excellent. I must say the size of the book makes it absolutely perfect for it just to go into an airline seat pocket.
Okay, what's next for Elizabeth then?
Oh, many things. Well, marketing this book. That's the first thing to do, and I've got to go and see as many people as I can. Again, the tourist spots, the airlines, and all this sort of thing, mayors, and all that sort of thing. But I've also got a lot of other things. I've written a series of children's books, so I want to add another one to one of those. I've got a second one up here, and I've got something else a bit further down the track. However, as well as all that, I'm also working for my husband's company, so I'm fairly busy.
Like a true independently published author, there's never enough time in the day. Okay, everybody, if you want to get a copy of The Day I Drowned, which I strongly recommend you do, to educate yourself, educate your family, there's Elizabeth's website below on the screen. Also, jump to the inhousebookstore.com.au, get a copy there. Be educated, be informed, make a difference, and save one life. That's what this mission is.
Please.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys next time.